play passive. They're going to play a little bit more aggressive, probably in the lanes. We'll have to see if anybody switches up their characters. It'll be good.
It's likely. I think it's likely they'll pick a little better defensive options and might even play better. Who knows? Okay, so Riv has left the room and now left alone with Coronach. So, how post-game interview? How did that game go for you?
Pretty well. They had a good early game, and seeing the teammates die in the upper lanes, but apparently that wasn't anything to worry about. Yeah, it took a little bit of time playing on a new computer in windowed mode right now, so skill shots are a bit hard to land. That's not that I'm bad.
Of course not.
Of course not. Yeah, I don't know. I kept having this announcer, though, over my shoulder saying I'm afraid, and I thought I was just trying to play strategically, so I'm not sure if there's a difference there. Maybe a little payback for telling the users that they should check out your song on YouTube and your wonderful singing skills.
Yes, well, you're welcome to try, but I think I got this. Alright, so aside from being afraid, what other traits will you change for next game? How will you play differently?
Probably try jungle build, perhaps.
Okay.
Change it up a little bit. Wriggles is a very good item for Blind Monk. He's able to actually dash to the ward he placed, which lets him escape from a lot of fights that he otherwise couldn't. Yeah, aside from that, the W Iron Will, so the second part of W, gives Spell Vamp, Lifesteal, and Armor, and it just makes for an excellent juggling ability. Combine it with the Wriggle proc, you're able to regenerate a lot of life. So that should basically allow us to go for early dragons solo and really put on a lot of pressure and try for a more aggressive ganking style on Lee Sin.
Cool, so instead of a dual lane Lee Sin where he was teaming up with Shen, he will in fact be jungling, as we saw Nocturne last game, was running around killing the neutral monsters across the map, and using his sort of, how ironic, he's going to be unseen across the map and use that to gank his enemies and pick up some, probably some pretty good kills if he can. Yeah.
Maybe in the process of seeing if we can get Invent with IGN and see what kind of smack they got to talk to us. That's the query right now. We're trying to work that out. If not, then we'll just do it in game. It's all going to be good fun. So it'll be a good time if we can get back in there and chat with them after possible.
Yeah.
See what they think of Lee Sin.
I'm better with smack talk typed in game. I think it's a more appropriate form.
Because
it's less chaotic.
In chat.
If there's 10 people talking, yeah. I mean, if it's not in chat, it's canon. But yeah, 10 people talking, especially with internet delay, makes things pretty hard to coordinate.
This is true. Yes.
So I'm always a fan of
hearing tons of voices.
Yeah, the cacophony is not really.
I'm sorry.
The cacophony.
Okay.
Do you need a dictionary?
I need something.
I'm gonna go ahead and look this up for Rivington. You can go ahead and talk. I'll just pull out the internet.
So it looks like we're getting a second game going. If you're just joining us and you haven't played League of Legends, most of you probably had because you're all diehard fans, just like us, hanging out here, listening to the cast. We're doing the cast for you because of the diehard fans. We love you guys so much. And even the people that aren't fans, we're about to make you fans right now. So check it out, leagueoflegends.com. If you're watching this, download the game. It's free. Get some champions rolling. We got 7 free champions every week that you can try and play. You can just try them out, and then they switch every week. So if you don't like one, you're like, I hope 7 new are going to be, free to play. Yep, they are. So we're going to get this set up again. There's summoner spells, and it looks like, he locks in Pendragon in the hallway saying, I'm going to play Jungle Yi, but it looks like we got an insta-lock for Lee Sin on Coronach. The Riot Jeff Jew is going to be paying Lux, a good crowd control character. She also does a sweet laser beam and talks about double rainbows. We know how much we all love double rainbows. We got a Vlad, and that is going to be a self-sustaining character. He uses his own health to actually take health back. So his spells are casted by his own health, but he also retrieves some as well. We have the word.
So cacophony.
Cacophony. Here it is.
Discordance of sound. Dissonance.
That makes me.
Cacophony.
Wait, the link is purple, so that makes me think you've looked this up before.
Because I just clicked it. Look, if I press forward, I go to the link.
Ah, darn it! I thought I had him. Didn't get it. All right, so Freak is using too big of words. His ELO and his vocabulary are way too high for me. So we're gonna see another Blitzcrank from Tamat. Not another. We're gonna see Blitzcrank And he may be a Blitz tank, Blitz support, things you'll hear about Blitz. He's usually a good support. He can also do a lot of ability power damage.
Indeed. So we have actually a very heavily crowd control sort of centered team now. Jeff Jew's Lux is going to have both a double target root. We saw the Rune Prison from Rise last game, who could root a single target for a few seconds. Well, Lux can get 2 at once. She has another spell called Lucent Singularity, which will actually drop an area on the ground that slows, and then you can blow it up to deal damage as well. Blitzcrank has a lot of stuff. He can hook a champion in. He can shoot his arm out and it pulls whatever it hits back in. So it'll pull an enemy champion or minion if he misses. And then he's got Power Pistol, just knocks someone up for a second or so. And then his ultimate is a Static Field, just silences everyone around him, all the enemies.
Tons of damage.
Really hurts people trying to get away. So the enemy team, another Blood Mech, they're matching skins every time too. They keep just
didn't plan this.
The Vladimir Rydog matching with Paradox. At least they're wearing different skins this time. That'll help. But a couple new pickups. We have King Rammus. So the Rammus skin actually for all the beta users get to turn the character green. We've got Kennen and Jana rounding out that lineup there.
Yeah, Kennen.
Yeah, Riv's a big Kennen fanboy.
Kennen Maynor.
Actually, a different player playing Leeson this time for their team as well. Steelers before. So
all right.
A little bit.
There. Oh man, and there's the Blitzcrank that we were talking about, full with all the bells and whistles and horns and
yep.
And that'll be fun. Hopefully we can get Tammet to spam a couple of his taunts and jokes in the Summoner platform.
Tammet, spam it.
Wow.
Yep.
Really?
Did it.
Really?
Said it. Came out of my mouth. Here we go. Somebody's loading. IGN. Come on. No, it's actually Tammet.
Tammet's kind of riding the sailboat right now.
Wow. All right, never mind. You don't have to be loaded.
All right, guess he's okay. Just kidding.
That was humor.
Okay, so Coronach's going to pick up a pretty standard opener. Cloth Armor and 5 potions is going to give him pretty good sustainable early jungle route. So the Cloth Armor is for obvious, shocking, as weird as it might seem, gives you armor when you buy it. Little bit of defense.
A little bit deep.
Plus 18 of it, in fact. And then
Welcome to Summoner.
IGN talked a little smack about their PC usage. And Coronach's going to hide the chat. Doesn't want to be part of it. I think he's already distracted enough by the commentators. Doesn't want to have to read chat as well.
Summoner's code, please.
He would actually just die to minions at that point.
Yep.
Like, I'm busy reading. Oh, God!
That's true. It's happened. Oh, I've definitely gotten caught in a wall story on the chat and been like, oh, I'm surrounded by the enemy.
Yeah. So, so Coronach's going to go ahead and sit in the jungle. He's going to start out with some of these jungle camps as they spawn. 1 minute 40 seconds is the opening. Oh, and he learned the wrong skill.
That was a sort of fail on my part.
It's okay. Despite the big wraith and kill wolves, go hit 2. Yep. All right. Tell Coronach how to play. Little passenger seat driving coming in.
Yep. Actually, there's different paths for a lot of junglers. Some people start all the way down at the bottom. Some people just start at blue. And, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Some people start and they'll smite the blue wraith and then run down and get golems. Because usually it's those 3 minions you got to kill, and then you'll level up if you're using the utility buff to get more experience per kills. It's a pretty good utility buff, usually used by the jungler, sometimes in mid if you really want to take the advantage, but it doesn't help too much for that guy in mid. The jungler being alone does a lot for him. He's able to get the skills he needs and the skills necessary to do everything he can.
Yeah, indeed. So Coronach right away just picking down all these minions right now. Going to kill these wraiths off. Is actually eating a healing potion right now using Sonic Wave / Resonating Strike. He's gotten that entire creep camp done already. Using Smite, by the way, one of the other summoner spells. Just deals immense damage to a single unit, a non-champion unit, and you can use that to help clear out the jungle much faster. That'll both increase the safety because it's dead so it can't hurt you, and also just increase your standard jungling speed. So, using those abilities to pick down these wolves as soon as possible, waiting every time he casts a spell to get the experience, but casts a spell, turns on his passive, attacks twice, casts a spell again, uses passive some more, refunding all his energy and doing tons of damage. Now he's going to get himself level 2 and run right back up to the buff camp now. Getting Safeguard / Iron Will in a second slot, chugging Healing Potion, now going right away for these little mini guys, protecting this big golem in this camp. Gonna shoot out some more of these abilities, doing a good job there, gonna keep up himself up and just constantly juggling his abilities to use the passive. That's really how you want to play Lee Sin, is that you basically have this dance of abilities you want to cast in sequence, and every 2 attacks you cast a new one, every 2 attacks you cast a new one, and it allows you to keep your attack speed up and do lots of great things. So right now he's going to pick up this golem kill, use his smite right there, and that's a kill. So now he's got the blue buff on himself, his energy regen significantly increased, his cooldowns dropped by about a quarter, and he's going to move around across the jungle to pick up some more of these camps and just do a really good job of clearing out all these monsters without taking too much damage. He's just constantly chugging through these potions and keeping his health up. And that'll work really well for him.
Ooh, this could be a difficult fight for Red. He's not going to go for the big one first, and he does not have Smite up yet. Taking a lot of damage, no more potions left for him, but he's still going to try to get this damage down. He does have the shield. See what he's doing here as we talk about a little bit of the lane comp. It was a try for a gank in middle from Rammus, and it looks like Nidalee Seraph was able to play that correctly. He is playing against Kennen in middle. That is a stun-oriented character. He also has a long-range attack. But Seraph was able to get out of that situation, probably heal himself, and get a nice spear onto Rammus as he was going away. We got Pendragon, Vlad on Vlad up top, and we're going to see how those two play out. And we have a Janna and a Lee Sin down bottom. So lanes are pretty much even right now. There was a frag in middle. That was going to be Seraph picking up first blood. And I was wrong. Lee Sin was able to pick up that red. And it looks like Coronach will be able to continue to move through the jungle. We'll have to back before he goes for his first gank. But at this point in time, when you see that they have both of those buffs, usually you're going to see one of the junglers coming out of the jungle. Rammus tried, wasn't able to do it. We'll see how Coronach goes.
Coronach being a little bit risky. He's actually extremely low on health without any potions or boots. He's going to go for this gank anyway. Hopefully his teammates can understand that he is coming into this fight. And he's going to probably try to go for the Janna. She is the lowest. It has been pinged, and here they go. Let's see if he can land any of his abilities. Is now up in range. There's the Tempest and the Cripple jumping right onto her. It looks like that's going to be a kill. The enemy Lee Sin, though, pick up one of them. Cam's going to be safe and walk away, so 1 for 1 right there. Both Blind Monks picking up a kill, and everyone's going to go ahead and recall back home. And I gotta say, that was actually... Oh! That's a nice little trade right there. Kennen diving right onto that turret, onto Seraph. They do trade kills right there. It's pretty reasonable. Just everyone gaining nice amounts of gold and being happy with all that. And Coronach's going to pick up a couple items. Going to pick up Madrid's Razors, which is the...
Pretty sharp. Had to. Had to.
No. Okay, so I picked up Madrid's Razor. So that item is actually uniquely aimed for the most part at jungling champions. What it does is it gives you some armor. It was built from the cloth armor earlier. Somehow armor turns into razors. Don't ask me how. But you add a longsword in there, you add the recipe, and it turns into Madrid's Razor. And so you get some armor, you get some damage, but then every attack you make has a chance of dealing a ton of bonus damage. You saw right there, those wolves both just died right away because the Madrid's Razor's proc. You have a 15% chance on basic attacks on minions and monsters to deal 500 bonus damage, which for the most part would blow them up immediately if they're lesser ones like these Wraiths, or will take a significant chunk out of things like the Outer Lizard or the Ancient Golem. And they just significantly increase your jungle speed, because that's really what it's about. Is, you know, some people say, oh, you want to pick this up to be safe because I don't want to take too much damage, but really what it's about is rushing through it and being higher level than everyone else and placing through these camps out so quickly. So right now, come in there, see Kennen in this fight. There's Rammus as well, jumping now onto Kennen. A lot of damage right there, but has been taunted by Rammus. Now can Nidalee do the rest of this damage? Has thrown a spear. This poor Kennen running so incredibly slowly. And pretty soon he will have Resonating Strike out there. Will he get that attack off? No, he runs right through them. And nice job by Kennen. Now Rammus up in that show, and Seraph is not in a happy place right now, taking a lot of damage. And yes, has been picked up by that Rammus, trying to run away as quickly as he can. He is one attack from being stunned by Kennen, but looks like he's going to be okay. He's going to run over and take over the mid lane. Nice job by Rammus. Excellent showing. 3-3 the overall kill scores. That's not so bad.
Yeah, that was a very good W by Rammus. He pulled up that shield, and that shield does damage to whoever's hitting him. Seraph went to throw his spear and actually killed himself by doing that, because Rammus was not in range to get his melee attack off. So it was a very good job by Rammus. Getting the taunt down, coming in, and it's going to be the ultimate. Slicing Maelstrom from Kennen. There's the shot. He does have a W left. No, he doesn't. He didn't use it accordingly. He used it for his click. He just went for that proc shuriken. Every 4 shurikens, Kennen will throw a Mark of the Storm shuriken that will land if it hits the character. He chose to use that. They were still able to get him, and he does go down in mid. It looks like mid is not open. Nidalee will be back at this point. So that's kind of a kill now for a few people around the map. Rammus got one. That was a good kill by Kennen right there. So the money's being distributed. Nobody really has a big upper hand right now at this point. So a very good match so far for their second one here in the IGN versus Riot matchup.
And it was just very, very fortunate, of course, from Coronach to be able to pick up that kill onto Rammus, who dove just a little bit too hard. Kennen did not give him quite enough support, so Rammus had to sit there just putting damage out onto Lee Sin. And finally, when he got to break away after the kill, he had taken so much damage from that turret that even a tank like Rammus, with a giant defensive ability like Defensive Ball Curl, just took too much damage and was dropped out. And as Coronach had hit him in recent times, did get credit for that kill. I think is well deserved. He certainly did force him to take all that damage from the turret. So well done there. Managed to pick up that kill. And one cool thing about these buffs that you get from the Golem and Lizard and such is whenever you kill someone wielding that buff, you get the buff. The timer refreshes and you get the full power of the energy regeneration or the slow gun attacks and all that. And so what happened was, well, Rammus picked up that kill and Rammus died to the turret, and turrets don't get buffs, they'd be a little bit OP. So they basically just went to the grave with him in a unique scenario. Yeah.
Ooh, a gank up top, and it looks like he will go down. It's going to be Pendragon falling to the hands of, that was Rammus, probably a taunt by the tower. Vladimir has a very good escape, a Sanguine Pool, but possibly wasn't even time to use it. Rammus probably rolled right in there. We do see a Janna and a Lee Sin coming up. Yeah, you get it. Yeah. Coming in, a very nice kick, kicking away Lee Sin, but Janna, as her attack, will slow Lee Sin. He is able to get away. They will not pursue, and I do not know why. Possibly because they did not know what was on the other side of the bush, and Lee Sin really just ran into the jungle. Possibly they thought that he had the upper hand in that situation. But the teammates are away, and they could have gotten a kill. He will go up top now to defend that turret in top lane versus Rammus, as he was in the jungle. Now he's in and out, kind of call that a floater. He does whatever he wants right now, and you really have to be watching for when he comes rolling out of the jungle, because it is one of the best gank abilities to be able to roll into your opponent, and you can actually charge that up in the bush. So you don't even have to come out right away. You can charge up the roll, come out at 80%, and fly into the enemy without them even knowing you're there, ton them up, and it's just such a hard ability to get out of if you don't have that, you know, break stun for Merc Treads.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rammus, an exceptional ganker, is the jungler choice from the IGN team, and he's really shown his worth right now. He's really carrying his team on his back right now. Coronach, of course, doing a good job with ganks as well. Has picked himself up quite a number of kills and few deaths. He is actually running at 3-1, so 3 kills, 1 death. He is in fact half of his team's kills and less than his share of his team's deaths. So a very well played Blind Monk so far. Much better than last game. He's seen much less resistance than afraid. And Seraph feeding, as we all know in the office, he typically tends to do. But Pendragon picking up the kill on Riot Dog, showing who's boss, but Rammus is up there, so we got to be careful a little bit about that. Jumping up onto Kennen. Kennen's going to be a little bit afraid. There's a good spear from Seraph, does tag him in the Fog of War. And let's see, Coronach coming around the side. It looks like Kennen is super afraid. We'll toss out a couple of things. Oh, and Pendragon picking up the kill on Rammus as well. And Coronach still chasing down that spear, will probably miss. He does get tagged right there by Kennen. He's got to be a little bit careful. Looks like Vladimir might come down to help. He has been pinged. Will Vlad come down? Coronach taking another shuriken to the face from Kennen. And, the spear almost from Needly. Let's see what they can do. He has tagged him down. Let's see what they can do. Oh, Blind Monk picking up the kill onto Seraph. And he needs one more attack to get this kill. There's the shield from Lee Sin. Coronach taking so much damage right now. Can he get away? He's taken... No, he will get taken down right there by the enemy Lee Sin. And Pendragon just farming up a storm. Just killing minions like a boss.
Yeah, he was just up there the whole time doing that turret. He went from full health on the turret to half health, and from a right click, that means he was probably up there for a good 15-20 seconds while the whole fight was going on. Now actually seeing himself being caught in that 3-person fight, he goes down. So a little caught out, a little out of position, kind of focusing on taking down that turret. Somebody came over to Pendragon and was like, "Hey, I got something for you to do."
I thought Lee Sin was a blind turret.
Pendragon just refusing.
Pendragon taking Lee Sin's passive of being blind.
How unfortunate. Yeah, that would have been a much better fight for Riot if Pendragon had come to lend his aid. But he did get some turret damage out there. Looks like the bottom lane is going quite well. Still 3-2. Has picked up Wriggle's Lantern and Mercury Treads as well. So that will do a very good job against all these stuns and taunts from Rammus and Kennen. And he's going to go right back into the jungle, pick up the Lizard buff right now. Going to kill out the little small parts of it first. Then we'll transition over to the larger camp, to the larger piece of the camp, and start going for the Lizard itself. And that's going to be a pretty easy kill. Getting quite a few procs from Wriggle's Lantern right there, getting another one. And Wriggle's Lantern is an upgrade path from Madrid's Razors, which increases the proc chance and your stats slightly, and just it's an all-around wonderfully powerful item, so that'll be quite helpful there.
Health Steal helps a lot, actually. Having Health Steal on Lee Sin, like you said earlier, he does a lot of attacks, and his abilities add to that attack speed. If you're just able to steal your health back in the fight, the other person's going to be kind of like, what? And they're really not able to do much but do their first reel of spells and then just kind of sit there and take damage from you as you steal back from him. A very good attack there. Will he be able to kick him back out of the range of the turret? Seraph waiting. He goes for Slicing Maelstrom and he gets stunned in the turret range. A very good attack by Kennen. He did have to use his ultimate, but it saved his life. Sometimes you got to use it to escape.
Yeah, unfortunately, Seraph, like Pendragon, refusing to help his team. And wow, Jeff Jew dead at the bottom of the map. Pendragon trying to fight in a 1v2, and if they have picked up the kill now, Tammet getting Jana, but picked up by Rammus quite safely. And there we go. Picked up by Lee Sin quite safely, and then Rammus and the enemy Vladimir picking up Pendragon for a quick kill. So much more so than before. Now the early game really went to Riot stage, but now this one's going great for IGN. I think Riot's gonna pick up.
I think IGN kind of bucked up, and they were like, hey. We didn't have enough strategy last game. We were getting caught off one-on-one, and we were doing this and that in the jungle by ourselves. So right now, they just ganked twice, 3-person top, kind of leaving the map open. But there really hasn't been any push from any of the lanes from Riot, because Riot is also reacting to them being up top. And sometimes you'll see that early game. You can have 3 or 4 people in a lane. If somebody tries to gank, that lane needs to be supported by more than just the 2 people that are there. And you'll see just a lane fight for the whole time. Right now, we got Coronach going against the other Lee Sin. That is going to be, I believe, Maltra. Maltra backing off, though, because he does not know what Coronach has up his sleeve, or that he is too pushed out. And right there is Jeff Jew coming out as Lux. Would have been able to freeze Maltra right in his tracks, and they would have been able to do a huge amount of damage. Looks like we have Howling Gale coming from Jana right there. A good smite, just trying to get a minion out of the way. Once you're done with the jungle, you can pretty much use smite at your will. You don't really need to use it to farm that much anymore or get the buffs out of your way to move through the jungle faster. So you just use it here and there, get yourself some more money. Getting the last hit on the minions will give you that money. A very good hit there by Corin. Dodged the Q also of Maltra. Could he come back out missing his through the wall? They are chasing now. It is going to be an ultimate. He's going to hit him backwards. No! Howling Gale stops him. He kicks Jana, and they are going to be trying to do some damage. Going for the lock here from Lux. Can she get it down? She slows. Still doing damage up close. Can he get his Q back down? And they are pushed off just a little bit. Too many minions. The pathing somewhat switched him up there. They weren't able to get around. Ghost is a good thing to get you through minions. Not that it was necessary in this fight, but you will have to walk around minions during the fight. In normal play.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, nice try there by Jeff Jew. Putting out a lot of damage on that, onto the Jana. Almost tagged her with the ultimate, but she managed to dodge that just barely. Basically the giant double rainbow laser coming out from Lux right there. Charges up for about a full second and then shoots out. And you can just barely have the chance to dodge it if you're watching very, very closely. And indeed, right there, Jana did a great job at dodging those attacks, and that was pretty marvelous. So Jeff Jew putting out what damage he can. Coronach pretty much fizzling out now. Nothing else to really attack here. So Little Wizard needs to respawn and going to come back into that lane. Does have some jungle minions he could go for. Could actually probably solo Dragon if he wanted to. But right now is going for some minion kills. Doing a pretty good job at that, of course.
We did see a little bit of a switch up between Pendragon and Seraph. Seraph now up top. Pendragon was able to take out mid-turret, which Seraph was pounding on all game. So Pendragon all over the map right now, and I think back at base, or somewhere on the base. Maybe helping Seraph up top. Good attacks by the tower right here. They do have a lot of health on the tower, so they won't be able to attack that and get it down. Kennen coming in, looking for the slicing maelstrom, but he won't have enough. No, he is pulled in, stunned up there, looking for the ult from Tammet to silence Kennen. Will he come out of the bush? I don't believe he actually has his ultimate. I think he still is waiting for the cooldown from killing Coronach in mid last time. So Kennen going into that fight a little too aggressive, and it is going to be a chase down here. Are they able to get him? And a pullback. He was pulled back by the hand. Lux also was able to get that stun on and the good enough damage to take him out. A very good fight. They were under the tower the whole time and were actually able to back out, pull the team away from their tower, and come out with the win.
Yeah, that was definitely great play overall from the Riot team. Unfortunately, Coronach went down. It seems like Tammet holding on to his ultimate a little bit too long. I felt like that should have been up already for the silence, and that would have given them about a second window of Kennen not casting spells, which would have probably allowed Coronach to live, as Rammus doesn't do a lot of damage by himself. But jumping in there, taking a lot of damage, did die to Kennen, but the rest of the kills did get picked up. And now, Jeff Jew taking a lot of damage from the enemy Lee Sin, but he does have all these buffs, so he should be able to do a ton of damage, and basically just kite him for as long as he wants. But after getting forced back, does flash and retreat from that fight. It looks like now Coronach's going to go for the dragon, the great, giant, huge, super important objective. Let me go ahead and throw some more adjectives on that one. The dragon is also flying, by the way, and healthy, and spits fire, and is awesome. And
smells.
He does probably smell things, but I have no proof of that.
Good warding. Good strategic positioning of wards. You put them in the bushes next to their buffs. Now Coronach knows if he's doing dragon, if he's in his jungle, they're not going to be able to take that buff right away. He'll have time to walk over there and do more damage on top of the damage given by the buff. And we're going to see this fight coming up here. Pendragon going down is killing somebody, has used his ultimate and put that down, is what I meant to say. And he will turn around to fight this as they come out of the bush. Rammus did not know there were 2 other Riot members there. and Pendragon led him right into that ambush. No pun intended.
Oh, bush.
But yep,
Wow.
It was a bush. Self-explanatory.
I'm actually a little bit disappointed in your choice of puns. I don't know what to tell you. Oh well. So, but the dragon is up, and Blitzcrank pulls a minion gloriously, and Coronach's gonna go ahead and not kill the dragon because it's actually gone. We've been talking about it for so long, but let me add the adjective dead to that list. And yeah, unfortunate. So up in the bottom of the map now, dueling up with Hot Rod Blitzcrank, and the Howling Gale comes out. Will dodge that because it didn't go far enough to even do enough damage, but they've already jumped up onto Blitzcrank. There comes Blind Mug out of nowhere. Let's see what he can do. Gets pushed back into the tower by John Grimstone there, but will drop kick her back now into the brush. Coronach taking so much damage, will in fact go down. Glorious, glorious play from Jonna, knocking him directly into that turret, and he just got pooped on right there. And that's good escape from Blind Mug, but Jonna now in the middle of everything. Can't quite pick up the kill, are you serious? Taylor getting taunted underneath the tower, goes down, and Jonna even getting the kill credit there, but Seraph does pick up Blind Mug, but Cannon out of nowhere picks up Seraph, and that was great from IGN.
That was a very big return. We just saw a huge fight happen in favor of Riot. IGN saying that can still happen from our side too. So they brought their team down, showed what was going on, showed that they have the power right now. It is 19 to 20. So it wasn't Riot up a little bit in the beginning? Like, yeah, they were up, and then kind of a flip-flop from last game. Riot was doing good, or IGN was doing good in the beginning last game, then Riot took over.
Doing well?
They were doing well. You're correct.
Yeah, I know I am. I'm new.
A good fight here as they are in the jungle. Slicing Maelstrom from Kennen, and it looks like he is just going to pierce through the squishiness. Can he go for his W? If he has been leveling it, he will be able to hit it and just take out Lee Sin. Dodging the stun from Kennen, dodging the Q from Kennen, staying alive around his turret, and finally just taking a little bit of damage as Rammus comes up and pokes him, and he will go down. Kennen getting a little bit of damage on him as well. A good try for the survive by Coronach, staying alive there. And he will get 3 Dorans. He has a lot of health steal now between those Dorans and the Wriggles, so he'll be able to fight, do a good amount of damage. Looks like we're going to see some aggression here from Temet. He does have 2 marks on him. That will stun him on the 3rd. Looks like he will go away. Pendragon still up top, just harassing that lane. I don't think we've seen him anywhere but up top. I think he's like quarantined in that section.
Kind of what he seems to be doing. It does work pretty well if you're a carry-type champion like Vladimir who can really scale in the late game and dominate the game. It is sometimes in your best interest to just sit there and keep farming and put yourself more and more powerful. But then things like that happen, and then you start dying a lot, or not. Oh, he will flash across the wall. Then he will pull a little bit late though. Now he's in range of Jonna. He will try to steal some life, but now Jonna on top of him, and Pendragon will go down. A little bit misplaced aggression there. He could have let that pull stay around for longer. Could have flashed then run, not got in for the pool, waited for enemies to show up, pulled then, probably made that work. So, well, unfortunate misplay there from Pendragon. Temet tried to land a hook from the brush. Unfortunately, will get dodged. Oh, but the spear from the Fog of War. Seraph getting ready to do some damage. Will not do any damage. Oh, he will actually. He will pick up counter nice stuff there, but he's getting chased down by Blind Mug. And he's going to be safe.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to get away. Coup Reform will allow him to just jump over some walls. You're really not somebody you want to chase. Nidalee, Kassadin, players like those, they just have really easy escapes. So it's one thing, like I said, focusing earlier. Make sure you can focus somebody that can escape really easily out of the fight, because that's what they want. They want you to waste your abilities, and then within those 5 seconds of your abilities being cooled down, you pretty much have to attack in that time. Just like last time, they attacked Janna last game before her ult came back up, and they were able to get the kill. They weren't on the first time. A very big aggressive push up top with 4 members of the IGN team is able to take down a turret quite easily. Now we have a little defense being played by Lux and Vladimir up top. That's going to be Jeff Jew and Pendragon as they begin to push them back. A good push here by Corn in middle. It looks like he will be able to get some damage on this turret, however, it won't go down in the end of this fight.
And once he has some teammates show up, we do have Seraph and Tyra right below him. They do see the enemy Blind Mug. It's going to be really, really bad for him. He has been revealed, and there the attack is coming in for both players. The hook across the walls of Temet will steal that kill away. And then Coronach will simply kick the enemy cannon back out of range and go ahead and disengage for now. And that should work well for him.
That was a good little tussle there. They made sure they didn't want to do too much. They didn't try to overextend. Jeff, however, with Pendragon, wanted to do a little bit more because Pendragon likes to get in there and carry his team. So he's still trying to fight them in their own jungle right now. I don't believe he will get away. Actually, no. He's going to turn around and try and get the 2 kills that he could before he ends it. He does get his ult down, and he is running away. That ult is going to proc. How much damage is he going to do? And he stays alive throughout the fight amazingly versus 4, and they're able to take down the opposing Vladimir. So there's the health sustain for the other team. He'll be down. You don't have to worry about him staying alive, just getting his health back when he's not fighting you. And now they're just going to push middle right now. A very good team fight in middle. They were able to just string out the IGN team and get them one by one. Pendragon doing a very good job of kiting his enemies in his fights.
Yeah, it was excellent baiting by Pendragon for sure. Vladimir is one of those champions that really can, if you play it right, just kite enemies forever and ever. He managed to do a lot of damage, then sit down to that Sanguine pool, and allow his teammates to catch up and allow a lot of damage to accrue on those enemy champions.
Master yourself.
And then just they got blown up when everyone else showed up, and it was just carnage everywhere, and people dying, and oh my gosh, it was horrible. So yeah, definitely some great play there by Pendragon. Now Coronach just running around, just farming out these minions super hard, getting a lot of gold for himself, and that's just gonna increase his power level over time, maybe over 9,000 even, and that's always a good thing.
It happens. Over 9,000 happens. That's the legendary, the legenda when they come into it. So we'll have to see if he can get to that point this time. Pendragon did very well with Rise last time. Machine Gun Rise, as he is known now, just being able to cast spells. But we see him playing Vladimir here, the self-sustaining character. Coronach with Lee Sin. Jeff Jew has that. Lux trying to do some CC for his team. Oh, getting caught off guard. 2 in the bush. It could be able to enough. Yes, it will be enough to take him down. And the flash from Kennen for the instant attack. Just so many things happening. Almost the escape, but not the escape. They're using as many abilities as they can without their ultimates to take him down. Because really, and ultimately, if you will, you don't want to have to use your ultimate if you don't have to. If you can get the kill with regular skills, do it. Because the next fight is probably the one you want to be able to use it in.
Yeah, indeed. I want to be one. I mean, it's never a bad idea to kill someone. Like every time you kill someone, yeah, it's worth it.
It's good,
and you just gotta make sure you let people know that it was worth it.
Oh,
you gotta let them know because they don't always know that it was worth it, but you know best.
It was, so, yeah. My bank account says so.
Yeah, you let them know it's worth it. But yeah, Pendragon taking a lot of tower damage right there because of Rammus using that taunt right there, forcing him to attack him, which means that he will then just full aggro for all the damage. But Pendragon taking a lot of damage now, interrupted by Kennen, getting blown up and getting those buffs transferred back to him. So Pendragon playing the buff delivery mailman, just giving those buffs back over to Kennen.
Yeah, it is true. I think who was watching? Garsman. Garsman's like, everybody that takes my buff, it's like a rule that they die because everybody takes the buff and they go in and run in and lose the buff. So it's not something you want to do. You want to be able to keep that buff. However, Pendragon getting the kill he needed with the buffs, yeah, gave it to Kennen and they're gonna reset, but it's not really somebody you really need to worry about that much. The red is gonna slow you down, but Kennen's gonna stun you if he's gonna stun you. So right now, Kennen is pretty much the focus on their team after Janna. Get Janna out of there so she can't do her healing. And then you go for Kennen for the stuns. Like I said, you got to have that reel of who you're going to attack. If you go into battle attacking everybody, it's going to look like nobody took damage at the end of the battle.
Yeah, it's absolutely worth focusing on single targets at a time. You know, this point has been brought up before, but you do want to go for those targets of opportunity. You don't want to go like for the enemy tanks. Rammus should not be dying at any of these fights. Lee Sin, though, getting extremely low. Going to be a very worthwhile target right there. Does not quite get picked up by the Lex Laser, but Coronach can dive in there. Let's see what he can do right here. There's a little bit of a shield from Blind Muck, and he will miss the Sonic Wave as well. So he's got the disengage right there. We're taking a lot of damage from Kennen. We'll have to be a little bit careful. Looks like he's going to be okay for now, but has been dropped down to below half health thanks to Kennen. Oh man, Seraph taking a lot of damage now. They've got to be much more careful about how this game turns out.
Yeah, they are, because right now a lot of the members of IGN are up. We can see Lee Sin backing in a little bit of a tussle there as they push Rammus back into his jungle. Rammus now somewhat kiting. They do see Pendragon is back, and Pendragon has the most health in the game right now. As I said, there are characters that stack AP to health and health to AP, and that's Vladimir. The more AP you have, the more health you have, and vice versa, because you're stacking the AP. So it really helps out, and he is just one of those characters that synergizes well with items in the game. That's, oh wow!
Oh, from the brush, wow. Taking him down entirely in fog of war. That was just lots of being dead, basically.
Yeah, that was some damage, melting damage.
That was some damage. Then I can pick up the kill onto Janna, and now we see that Vladimir is a little bit stuck in between a rock and a hard place. And we see he's now been taunted by Rammus, but a lot of damage is going off right here, so he can probably pick this one up. Getting kicked up back into turret range, and this Rammus is not necessarily in great shape. Can he get enough damage? And we'll pop the ultimate, and he might get the damage as the ultimate times out. No, will not. So no extra kill there for Vladimir. Tried really hard, but He got so far.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It just didn't
kind of
matter.
playing like a Karthus Vlad right now. It's alright if I die, but I'm going to get a bunch of kills. Just get in the fight, do damage, sit in the pool, try it out. But now, not working for him too well late in the game right now. They figured out that he is somebody to focus, and when he's between the two enemy turrets, it's even better to focus him. So he kind of got caught out of position. I don't think he's going to let it happen again. He is the dragon of the pen dragon. So we'll see what he does. He was going to be playing jungle this game, Coronach, however, showing you what the Lee Sin jungle is like, how well he moves through the jungle. And like we said before, jungling, if you haven't played League of Legends, leaves those two open in single lanes, allowing your team to level a little bit faster, possibly level over the other team if you can control the lanes well. But having single lanes helps out a lot, because then you won't have 2-on-2, and everybody will pretty much be the same level but mid. So you have 3 single lanes where the jungler by himself, top and mid are the single ones as well. Bottom is considered a double lane if the dragon ever needs help. So there's a lot of things to learn in that strategy, but right now these guys are pretty much going for the kills. Looks like they're stacking up in mid. They could be going. They are checking blue right now. We have, I believe that is Nidalee and Blitzcrank down there along with Jeff Jew trying to do some damage, as they did see Rammus over by the blue. Somebody is trying to get that buff, and this is something you want to do, a harass and poke game, and stop the other team from doing what they want. It can really just mess up everything for them in the end.
And they did actually land that light binding on Lee Sin. He's trying to run as fast as he can. Temet's rocket grab is down for a few more seconds. Here comes Rose from the back now. A tank fighting a tank alone is okay. The tank's job is to take nothing damage very fast, but they are killable. But right away, Temet goes down. That bait worked quite well. There is Cannon in there doing so much damage. Coronach trying to run away from the enemy Lee Sin is probably doing so properly, but no! Out of nowhere, Cannon throwing out that Thundering Shuriken. So much damage. They're picking up one, and now Vladimir trying to pick up the rest that he can. Doing pretty good against Rammus, but I really don't know why he's killing Rammus, because now he's just going to die. And that was silly.
Indeed, it was silly. Maybe he's trying to finish an item or something. I really don't know why he went for that. But he did go for the kill again. You know, Pendragon trying to get these frags in his favor right now. He's 14-8, so he's not really, you know, he is somewhat feeding the team right now, but they're not going to be above the frags that he has, so he's not too worried about that situation. It's just if the same person keeps getting that amount of frags, they are going to be able to build items to shut down the team. And right now, they're not going to need those items, because their synergy is doing what they want.
Yeah, and certainly though, like, Cannon is extremely farmed right now. That guy is beasting on everyone. He's really carrying the game for the IGN team. And he was probably the Navy player from last game, seeing that he was the mage player before. So, doing some pretty good work. Looks like Pendragon less good on Vladimir than he is on Ryan. But, you know, doing what he can. You know, he's certainly doing well. He's certainly getting kills, but last game he was just crushing the entire game. This one, doing a little bit less so. So we'll see if they can pick this up. Coronach, you know, trying to get himself back in the game. Needs a little bit more durability, specifically magic resist, as most of the damage is coming from Cannon. So as long as the Riot team can build some magic resist, they can really put themselves back into this game. Again, one of the things you can do in League of Legends quite well is pretty much adapt your item choices to anything going on in the game. You can pretty much power up any stat your character has, from movement to cooldown to ability power to the resistance to spells and physical attacks. So magic is probably going to be the stat du jour, and we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, indeed. It is going to help them out a lot. We'll have to see what they can do with the team. Pendragon is at the top right now, just farming with Nidalee, possibly trying to go and control that jungle. Everybody really spread out for Riot right now, and we don't know where IGN is. You only see one on the map, so right now this is called, pretty much the enemy team is Mia. You don't know where they are. They could be setting up for Dragon right now. They could be doing their buffs. So you really have to kind of figure out where they are without necessarily wanting to fight them, but it's always good to know where your team is, or the enemy team is, if they're not setting up in your jungle, as Riot is doing right now in IGN's, and you can see IGN is trying to clear that out at this point too. Vladimir again up top, Pendragon trying to stay alive. He does have a Rammus and a Lee Sin on him. A good push here in mid by Seraph, I was going to say Sivir, taking down the turret. And it looks like Vladimir may be able to get away on this one up top. A good push in mid by Riot Games right now, and a kill by Pendragon on Lee Sin.
Yeah, so good job there. They have gotten that kill in mid now. Of course, Pendragon does go down. It was like a 1v4 up there up top.
Yeah.
So it's okay to get one kill then die, especially if your team gets a turret. That's one of those worth it moments. And now Coronach going to pick up the enemy golem buff. That's actually really nice. That these buffs, they spawn on either side of the map. They're usually sort of owned by one team or the other because of their proximity to the base. And it always feels really good when you can take one of the buffs that are sort of your opponent's buff. You get that good feeling of like, I just did something that you know, set my opponent's back. Aren't I great? and he should be actually able to get the dragon right now. There shouldn't be anyone really too close. They have pretty good ward control, so I'm just kind of coaching Coronach to do what I tell him to.
There's actually 2 people in that jungle right now.
So he says there's 2 people in the jungle, but I don't believe him, because I think they can just kill this really easily.
You're right, there's only 4.
Yeah, see?
There are only 4 people in the jungle, so technically Coronach was wrong.
So, I mean, for Lee Sin, the blind monk should be okay.
Yeah, he can hear him.
Yeah, he can hear him at least. So. And Sarah about to get ganked by Rammus. I think he just jumped over the wall right there. He's going to be alright. We do see Janna invading the jungle. Ooh. And let's see what... I mean, he's kind of paired up with Lux right now. Let's see what they can do. We do see Rammus and Vladimir over towards the right-hand side, which means we see Lee Sin over there. So Janna and Kennen are the ones probably more aggressive right here. And Kennen is the one to be afraid of, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, Kennen, I don't know what he's building. It looks like he has a lot of burst on him right now. A lot of magic penetration just off of the damage that he has because he's slicing through everybody's health. At this point, everybody's pretty leveled as well. I said before, you can kind of determine how much health somebody has, or you can, off the lines, and every line is 100 health. If those are really thick, that person is considered squishy. And as you see, everybody in the game right now, they have a pretty good amount of health. So these fights are going to go on for a while, and the focus is going to come up big. A very nice flash by Vlad. Will he be able to pull down into this? No, the slow with the Ryla is a very nice item on Vladimir. It will be able to slow him down and give him a lot of health, which helps because it's also AP, like I said, that item synergy. So right now, Pendragon building himself up. Like Freak said, you can alter pretty much any stat that your character has in the game by items, by masteries, and by your runes. So it's definitely good to know. You're not going to really know what team you're going up against, but building accordingly, as Freak said.
Yeah, and of course a great job as well by Coronach. As Pendragon did land that slow, he immediately landed the Sonic Wave across the wall, jumped right onto him, landed Tempest and Cripple, slowing him down even further, and really locked him up for that fight. So, you know, we were talking about the Riley Cripple stuff there, but really the start of the show right there was Coronach jumping across him, landing the skill shots, and just crushing his spirits right away with the skill set. So good stuff there. And they looks like they're going to be ready to push. They do have a nice 5-man group here pretty soon. Lux is coming up from the bottom. And they're kind of surrounding on the right-hand side turret. They could manage to get themselves a fight. And they're really waiting for Tenet to land a rocket grab. If he can pull Tenet, it's going to be huge for them. He's Muspink is an amazing initiator champion. I totally put the wrong accent on the wrong syllable there. And he's a great initiator champion, as the word is properly pronounced. And so if he gets rocket grab, like one high priority target, i.e. not Rammus, because that would be sad, they can really get themselves a really super easy fight right there. Kicking the enemy blind monk away. He's trying to run past him and kick him forwards, as really all it does is kick you in a line the way you're facing. You want to try to run past your opponent and kick him backwards. And that's what you're going to go for. So Tammet now, with Coronach, they can get that pull on one of these guys. They do have the ability to pull out one of the guys they want to. A little bit of harassment coming out from Ken. You can see his health getting chunked down from that Thundering Shuriken. And they're going to kind of go back, and they see Pendragon getting forced on it. Oh, nice job right there, pulling Vladimir. He's going to go down right away to Tammet. And then they have a really good chance to take this fight, 5v4. Kennen is going to run into the fight. He's going to pop the ultimate. Can they get enough damage out of it? They've actually kited it quite well. That ult will go to waste. They do need to reinitiate though as soon as possible. While that cooldown is down, and while the Vladimir is dead, they do need to try to fight this. They have found the enemy Lee Sin. That is the rocket punch right there from Blitzcrank. So we see Kennen around the back, looping around. Can they get enough damage? And Tammet taking a lot of damage. That Rammus is getting very low as well, but looks like everyone's a little bit too afraid to initiate, and this is going to be, a nice escape from Coronach, but he gets shocked there by Kennen, taking way too much damage. Getting dropped right down. Sarah just picked up 1 kill in Cougar form, now running away as fast as he possibly can, and now it's time for some item pickups as we navigate the shop.
Yeah, Coronach rolling in the money right now. A lot of money at this point. Usually you go back to base with like 1.5. He had about over 3,000 in gold right there, so he's going to be able to buy some good items.
He's picking up the Hex Drinker. Hex Drinker is a pretty unique item. It's built from basically attack damage and magic resist. Of course, Lee Sin being a champion that really scales very hard off of attack damage. And using those stats, you get your damage output, of course, that you want, and then magic resist, which you really need for the enemy Kennen. And then what it turns into is once you've taken a lot of damage, once you get low, below about 1/3 health, it pops up a little magic damage blocking shield. So you kind of get a lot of mitigation against magical attacks, and then when you really get low, you get this emergency shield to block just a few more and really try to get you out of those battles safely. So that's a pretty wise choice right there. It really is one of the best magic resist items for fighters like Lee Sin. So we'll see if that helps keep him alive against Cannon a little bit better than before.
Indeed. Somebody like Lee Sin, like he said, it's just attack damage. So you'll see him building items like that. No need to get any real ability power on Lee Sin. It's kind of going to be a waste. Maybe you'll use the attributes of an item and it has ability power. It happens. Sometimes you're stuck in the game to buy something else if you have this much money and all your slots are full. Could he be getting the damage, the stun? And he does get his Q to attack. A very nice job after being stunned by Slicing Maelstrom. And he was able to fight his way through it. Another ward and a great ward control on Dragon. Like we said before, having wards can really help you control everything in the game.
Yeah, does a very good job right here. They finally killed the star of the show for IGN. With that champion down, without Kennen, they really do not have a good chance of fighting Riot. And so right away they rush up to Baron Nashor, the largest neutral monster on the map. He's extremely durable. You can see him just still not quite dead yet. Down probably to half health. Does a lot of damage. Actually debuffs enemies as well as he fights. But when you kill him, your entire team gets a giant chunk of health, a giant chunk, of golden experience, and then you get a nice buff. And he actually picked up the kill right there with Smite. This buff gives you bonus attack damage, bonus ability power, health regeneration, and mana regeneration. So the entire team is really sustaining, but also does a lot of damage in those fights. They get a good couple thousand gold worth of bonus stats for about 4 minutes as the buff lasts. And that's going to be extremely useful for them to run around in the next 4 minutes with this buff and just try to dominate the map and do as much as they can to control this game.
Looks like he's going to pick up Frozen Mallet. That's going to give him a lot of survivability. Survivability is something you need. It's HP, it's armor. It helps you. More HP as well. If somebody tells you you need survivability, it means you need some HP. You're dying too quick. So he's going to pick up that Frozen Mallet. It's going to give him a lot of health as well as slowing anybody that he hits. And it looks like he bought a red pill as well. There's red elixirs, I should say. A red elixir, a green elixir, and a blue elixir freak if you want to go into those.
Yeah, so the red elixir that he picked up is pretty much analogous to everything he's building in this game right now. It's health and attack damage. And it really just is like, hey, I need to be a little bit beefier, kind of get in these fights, and just punch people in the face way better. And that's really what that buff's about. So he's got not only the Baron buff for bonus attack damage and health regeneration, but he's also got the red pot for more attack damage and more health. So he's really going to be a big, punchy, awesome guy. That's going to work very well for him. The blue and the green are more for spellcasters and critical strikes and more assassin types. Right now, Coronach coming in from the back, unfortunately getting cut off from that fight. He's going to have to run through a wall of tanks and mages to get to anyone squishy. And he gets cut off from the team. Pendragon does die on Vladimir. They still have the Baron buff on 4 of them. The Baron buff does, of course, time out when you kill him. They have found Kennen now. He's got to be careful. His medic should be enough to be okay. You can see his health dying much more slowly now. And let's see. Yes, Blitzcrank is jumping now onto him. He's going to go ahead and rocket kick that Lee Sin. Lee Sin does go down. They still see Kennen towards the bottom taking some decent damage. He's still surviving in this fight. They're doing a very good job there. Smites one of these golems. He's going to pick that one up, get himself some nice new health. He's got a lot of life steals, 12 amps, so gets a lot of heals from immediately and from himself, doing some work right there. And they still see Rammus now. Rammus is probably killable at this point. They do jump on him right away, and his ball crow does go up, and he takes very little damage now. You can see all those items on every single one of them, giving him so much health and resistance. But again, when you're 1v5, you can't really work and get away too well. So very good focus there from the Riot team. They have brought the score up to 39 to 42, so only 3 kills down, of course, with the advantage in Barons and maybe in towers. They've got 2 in mid, 1 in top and bottom, and no, they're actually behind turrets. So good play from the IGN team. That Kennen is still getting lower and lower, and if he tries to take a team out at half health, he can get bursted down. The Needly Spear almost tagging him in the face. And they're going to start working down towards these minions that regen from the Baron buff. Extremely powerful. You can see that Harass doing a great job, but he's taking still a lot of damage from the enemy team. I think actually John managed to save him a little bit, getting him away from that Kennen. He's going to probably be okay. That enemy Lee Sin jumping in there probably a little bit foolhardily. I'm going to assume that's actually a real word in the conjugation of foolhardy. We'll assume so. Yeah. The adjective form.
Like it.
Or sorry, the adverb form. And yeah, just more harass. You can see him just pouring out that Sonic Wave and the Resonating Strike, just pushing down onto the enemy champion. And he's going to go ahead and regroup. And
right now, just hanging out. Just running around in base.
Hanging out. Enemy Lee Sin takes a ton of damage right there. Seraph doing a ton with Needly, but Kennen is forcing the enemy team to be very afraid. Seraph goes down. Coronach a little bit too tanky now, so he's not going to go down to his ultimate finally. He's built himself enough durability to not go down to Kennen, but Rammus is going to make this very, very scary. He does get his teammate to jump onto him. Jeff G will come over to his left. He's going to have to press W and click. Will he jump across? No! Gets stunned and blocked by the wall and will not make the jump across, so he's still going to run away as fast as he can. Needs one more CC from Jeff G. Puts out a shield, but he's still getting taunted by those Rammus. This is very, very dangerous. Can he get away? Jumps to him directly this time, but still getting bursted down by Kennen over to the shield. And now Jeff Ju taking a lot of damage from Kennen still. Flashes over the wall. Tamron's going to zone as best he can, trying to protect his teammate. Will he do this properly? Light Bending does come out, blocking Rammus from chasing down any farther. And let's see what else we can do behind the shot. Kemet taking more damage, running now off the screen. Gonna be okay. Negatron Cloak, probably worth it. I would say Negatron Cloak. I would, or not. That's fine. Do whatever. You can die if you want. I mean, it's cool. Negatron Cloak, one of the big magic resist items. Of course, he was considered Wit's End. A different magic resist item actually built more with attack speed, so it's pretty analogous to the Hex Trigger earlier, but built from attack speed to magic resist, just giving more offensive stats and a little bit of defense to boot.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to start turning into a Banshee's Veil game. Even though he has a Negatron already, you can use that in the Banshee's Veil. They're going to be able to avoid Rammus's taunt, and they're going to be able to avoid his ball curl as he comes flying through the map. So we're going to have to see how many people actually build that. We saw one on Lux. We see Vladimir pushing out. This is Pendragons with so much health. You can't even see the lines anymore. So it's getting to that point in the game where towers pretty much don't matter during the fight unless it's all of the ones near the Nexus, because they do some good damage together. We're going to see Janna getting stuck up here. She does have a shield, but she is going to get taken down. She's not going to be able to get away. Oh, no! Great Howling Gale. And it is going to be a spear from Seraph, only going down to 10% health. And missed through the grab. They were just out of the bush, and they were not able to come up with that one. A huge damage to Seraph right now. He got hit by something, and he is going to go down in this fight. If he can't jump over, he does not. And he gets queued quite quickly by Lee Sin. The fight ensues still towards the river. A great snare by Lux. A good kickback on Janna, trying to stay alive right now. Coronach goes down in the fight. An Ignite was used on him as well. A little overpowered there, but that was an Ignite they will be able to dodge in the next fight if they can get back into it, as Pendragon is now here. Takes out one as he ignites Janna.
We got Kennen too.
Oh, we got Kennen as well. Good to see. So much happening on the map. I was focusing on the river fight, and we will see Lee Sin just kind of running around here, and he will be taken out. I don't know why he's staying around Blitzcrank right now. Blitz getting caught up in the pathing of the minions. He will be able to W, turning on that horn, the Cucaracha as he goes in, but he will start to turn around. Rammus could taunt. They could shut down Blitzcrank right here. He will get a shield that is his passive right before he dies. If that is up, there's the shield, and it does keep him alive. Rammus is still there to be taken down. Vlad comes in. Pendragon trying to help Hammond in this fight. Going for the ball curl. Can he catch him? Going for the W. Speeds up Blitzcrank, and he puts on the Hot Rod power. Going back for him. He will go back towards blue. Do they find Rammus in the fight? And it looks like he has gone towards the left or possibly down towards the base to get out of this one. And Rammus, yes, down towards the base, was able to get away without having to execute himself in a tower. An amazing fight. Stay alive by Rammus. And, you know, Blitzcrank staying alive. Tamat doing a good job of waiting for Vlad on the Lee Sin fight.
Yeah, so pretty good job. Good recovery there from Pendragon, keeping himself alive. And let's see, Coronach now running back up the map. And, yeah, he's going to see if he can group up with his teammate. The score now, 44-48, so we're still with that 4-point score line, but it just seems like this Kennen making life super hard for Team Riot, doing a ton of damage every single time, and it's been very difficult for them to stay alive through this. Even in the last two fights, they've actually managed to make him waste the spell, where he will pop the ultimate, but no one's in range just yet, so that fizzles out, and then they still fight without Kennen's ultimate, and it's still really close, and IGN still ends up coming out ahead quite a lot.
Yeah, at this point, your nerves are definitely on edge. You want to be able to get in there and help your team, and sometimes you'll activate that ultimate too much, and people will see it. We saw Seraph run away from the last one, as you said. They're able to kite Kennen's ult, and it's not really working out for him right now. If they can continue to do that, it's going to be huge, because right now, Kennen's 3 hits of Slicing Maelstrom, it hits 9 times, it'll hit only 3 times on one champion, is absolutely obliterating Seraph, and he is somebody they need to allow a poke kind of game. They can keep poking, take damage, Seraph can heal, and they continue to do that. Janna only has that one heal. She can only use her ultimate and help out her team, which kind of affects the other team as well by pushing them out. So they do have a better poke strategy kind of game. If they get up there and try to fight 5v5, they should come out on top.
Yeah, so right now you see the Riot team is actually grouping up towards Bear. Teva getting picked off by that Kennen once more. And Coronach trying to just pick out the rest of this Golem camp, and now he's going to go ahead and regroup with his team. Of course, it is going to be a 4v5. That's going to make things very difficult. Seraph just charging through with a lot of ability power, going to throw up some really good spears and heals, but has to be very careful because in large team fights, you know, poking is only so powerful. You need powerful spells that can just constantly put out damage, and not just, you know, one spell every 10 seconds. So it's going to be very difficult for him to do a lot of work if they get initiated upon, but from the start they can do a lot of damage before the fight even starts and use that to their advantage as best they can, using the long-range spells and the heals to keep themselves sustained. So kind of just working through those minions super hard. They have now gotten you know, they do have sight of Baron, and the entire IGN team sitting near it. They should know better than to push in too hard and get caught. They will throw the spear that will miss Kennen. You've got to be extremely careful of this Rammus, though. They will hit light binding on 2 targets right there. They will miss. There's a spear right there. They've got to still be careful. Rammus will jump in there, and he will toss someone, and that one person will go down. They're just throwing every ability that they can at this Rammus, trying to scare him away. Of course, he's just waddling around at 85% health, not caring too terribly much. But they do have the advantage of having a healer and having generally more damaging pokes, so as long as mana will sustain them, they have the ability to keep poking at these guys and not commit to a fight too hard and just slowly wear down everyone.
Rammus changing his mind there, wanted to go in for the ult, but he did not. He was going to try to get in there and start that ground tremors. Looks like they will start to initiate here. Can he get the grab? No, they are following Kennen on this. Kennen gets the stun down, and the Rylas will also slow Lee Sin down quite a bit. Rylas will slow people on your attack. It adds an ice ability, or an ice effect that slows down the enemy. And we're going to see a chase here. It is Kennen and Jano with a Rammus following right behind and a Banshee's Veil up. He will not take a negative spell for the first one. So that could help him in this fight. He has popped the Banshee's Veil and he's back into the fight. Tremor's on. There it is right there, doing a good amount of damage to people around him. He is still the focus right now, so all the abilities are being focused on Rammus. If anybody were to come into this fight, they wouldn't really be able to stop it. Seraph goes down, and now they are on the chase, pursuing the IGN team. We can see Vladimir up top just pulling right under Blitzcrank. Hammett taking damage. Lee Sin getting kicked back by Lee Sin. The Ignite on Coronach right now. And can he get out of this? It is able for Pendragon to pick up a kill. And it looks like Coronach will back up a little bit. He does still have the ability to help his team with full energy, as there is a chase happening now by Pendragon and Riot Jeff Ju as they continue to chase these guys from the Jungle Freak.
Yeah, indeed. So they're just jumping into the jungle. Now, Korka has finished recalling back into the base. We do not see the rest of this fight just yet. We'll pick up Force of Nature as his item build. That is a giant magic resist, movement speed, and health regeneration item. Those are the 3 stats on that guy. So he's going to be actually really good at these sustaining fights, where if he takes damage, he actually regenerates % of his max health every second. And so not only is it built from regeneration, but he actually just converts his health into more health as time goes on.
Doesn't suck.
No, it doesn't sound bad at all, right? That's the reason it's a very expensive item. You just got it now. But it actually scales with you as you become more powerful, and that really does good things for him. So he's actually running over towards the jungle to finish out the rest of that golem camp. He did not quite finish out that marker. And so then when it does go down, it'll finally start the respawn timer. So now in 5 minutes, that golem will respawn, and they can go for it. He's going to check right away on Baron, make sure that Baron has not gone down, dropping that ward from his Wriggle's Lantern.
Find your center.
So they can see into that little Baron platform and make sure it does not get stolen by the IGN team.